Wood and steel prep prior to forging knives from picked up materials. William Hovey Smith, 2016. I am the owner of a new company, Hovey's Knives of China. Now, we also have the Billy Joe Rubideoux series of knives, which we make from found materials. And these are a couple of new knives in progress.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman, and we're continuing our work on the Billy Joe Rubideoux rib chopper. And we're actually going to start making handle material now. This was the last tree standing on Billy Joe Rubideaux's property on the lower Louisiana Delta before it is now mostly underwater. Well, the tree was killed years ago by salt water, and I managed to get a few pieces of it, including this limb. And so, in deference to Billy Joe, we're actually going to use this piece from his own property. And what I'm going to cut it with is this Portland chainsaw. Now, this is an electric chainsaw, and it is ideal for interior shop use, just like I'm doing it. So we're going to, got it plugged up. Okay, one piece. In the close confines of a shop, you want to make very sure you don't cut any metal with it, of course. And that part be done. The wood has a prominent crack right here. But we're going to be able to cut this with a bandsaw down here, and then cut us a block from here to here to here. And that'll give us a good 1 inch, which is what we need, is a 1 inch square block for the handle itself. We were able to cut this square into a billet. Now, it did give us the profile that we need. Yeah, I can get about 1 inch of solid wood out of this end. Now, at this other end here, it tapers down to bark. We also have this little split here, but that will grind out. So if I take it from here through there, I'll be able to make it. Before I cut the wood for the handle to its final length, I need to determine the length of my tang on the knife. This is our index hole here, so the wood will go about this far forward of that. Now, this portion of the blade is bent in 2 different directions, plus it is also tapered here. Now, this taper makes fitting the tang very, very difficult indeed. As long as it's uniform thickness as it is down to about here before the taper starts, I'm in good shape. So actually, this portion of the blade from here back to here, I really don't want or need. I can straighten this, but I don't want to have to take care of this much taper. So what I'm going to do is index this in the chop saw and cut this portion off. Now, this is adjustable, and I put it down to 0 so I can get a good firm grip on the piece using this adjustment here. So this tightens it down on the saw, like yay. So we move it to the cut line, right there. Tighten down. Good. Put these on. This thing makes a well of a lot of noise. It also throws sparks all over the place. So you don't want your oily rag down here catching sparks, so it's going to catch fire, I guarantee you. So you put everything combustible out of the way, start it up, and start making some sparks. Rather than stand here for another 15 minutes or so, what I have done is activated the safety switch and the control mechanism with duct tape. Used some aluminum here, wire, some cord from which to suspend a 25-pound bag of shot down here. So we will plug it in and get it started. The Chicago Electric Cutoff Wheel from Harbor Freight quit before it was done. Now, it had almost gotten through. It was about, I would say 3/4, 5/8 done, and it quit. Now, on some models, there is a thermal reset tool if this engine gets overheated, as it may have done. But this one does not have it. I have looked, even though this is supposedly the 14-inch industrial version. Why doesn't it have the thermal reset tool? I don't know. This is about the only adjustment knob here. You have these on and off. And I worked these several times. This is not a button that works. And then none of those visible on the machine. So, what do? We take it back to Harbor Freight. That's what we do, and get another one. Now that I have this metal removed, we can see exactly how long the grips need to be for the kind of handle I want to build. Now this is what we've got right here. So if I put my end of my grips a little forward of here, about 1/2 inch, and I take them about 1/2 inch back of there to account for the super grip cap I'm going to put on here, then that's about where I need to cut, right there. Now we're going to true up this end that'll actually face the tip of the blade itself. And I'm cutting off enough, about 1/4 inch, so I can get a good straight cut across here. This was another piece of Billy Joe's wood, but this happens to be a limb of cherry. It was off the cemetery plot where his mama's grave washed away. The coffin too. But that's another story. But this wood is actually wild cherry. So we'll proceed to cut that now. I'm showing you my entire grinding station here to show you one of the problems having to do with removing large amounts of wood dust. You notice on the floor I have an ordinary electric fan and it's blowing up, and then you have my grinding machine. Well, of course that's where the dust is going to be generated, and then immediately above there is my exhaust fan. So the idea is to push the dust liberated by the grinding as up and out of the shop as fast as possible. Otherwise, this fine dust, yeah, it's rather irritating and even almost choking, as a matter of fact. So it's also good to wear a dust mask, as I will when I actually start grinding. So now we have the blocks evenly sanded, so they'll bond evenly to the steel when we attach them with glue and pins. So until we actually pin these to the steel, this is as much as we will do with the wood. We have another tool for moving metal, and that is the angle grinder here. I'm making much faster progress with the angle grinder than I did the cutoff saw. So we've got our notch down to here, and what I'm going to do to the front is to take this piece off here. Just take a triangular piece of metal off, because it's this part that's going to be bent from here around and actually make the hook, whereas this is going to be the chopping portion of the blade starting from here. We're making some good progress with the angle grinder on getting that point shaped, so I'll show you a little bit more of that. I've now rough shaped this. It's going to be turned back like this for the hook with the angle grinder. And from what I've learned here, I now feel very confident I can just cut this line here for the grip rather than do it on the forge. You can heat and cut with cold chisels on a forge, but I guarantee you this is a faster way to get it done. Well guys, we about did it. Yeah, really did. Now let me tell you, these gloves and long sleeves, yeah, they've been absolutely necessary, as have been glasses. I did a better job of cutting the line as I progressed a little bit, but this I can smooth up. Yep. Okay. I'm sort of sit and lay back right now, as we've made good progress today. We have, thanks to the angle grinder, rough profiled our Billy Joe Rubideoux rib cutter. Yeah. And we were able to, with that, this is of course the handle end, and this hook will be forged and turned back in this direction. Then we also need to do some minor straightening here because of an angle in the original piece of lawnmower blade. But the shape of the blade itself has pretty well controlled the size of the knife. So this will continue on the forge tomorrow. Now, so far as our paring knife is concerned, yes, we didn't do anything with this in particular today. Tomorrow what we'll do on the forge is straighten this out to a flat piece of sheet. Then we'll be able to cut it here with chisels and actually then start profiling the knife itself. This obviously will be a blade, and then the grip will go from here to here. So that's how that knife will manage to shape up. Today we also prep the grips, starting off from a round piece of wood, as you saw. And so now we have these smooth. We know exactly where the pins are going now. We know how the grips are going to fit. And we do have some metal pieces to work up, but those will go pretty quick, because we're going to put a metal reinforcing piece right here, and we also going to have a metal band up here at the top as well. So it'll be sort of interesting when we get through that. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time. Like tomorrow. Whoop.
These are some of our production knives from Hovey's Knives of China that are based on patterns, some of which are thousands of years old. And here are a couple of previous Billy Joe Rubideoux products, including a rib flipper and forge cleaner. I am the author of a series of outdoor books, and these include crossbow hunting, extreme muzzleloading, backyard deer hunting, and even practical bow fishing. The Billy Joe Rubideoux series is made from found materials furnished by the clients. For more information on Hovey's Knives of China, you can go to the website below. For information on my books, blogs, and more than 550 videos, you can go to my website. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.